Leadership today, I don't know. I have things to say about it. So I think the leadership of today is learning too much from leadership of the past, and they're not thinking about what leadership really needs to look like in this year, 2023, but also what leadership will need to look like in the future. So today I wanted to talk to you about the top 5 leadership skills that I think are essential to be a true leader of an organization today, but also tomorrow. So stay tuned to find out what they are. Hello. My name is Sarah Curdo, and I am a certified career strategist and a certified leadership coach practitioner. I have 15 years in human resources and talent acquisition, building high-performing teams, working at the executive level all the way to entry level. So the way businesses work, it's kind of like my thing. It's like what I've been doing for now 20 years, because I've been coaching for 5 years. Now, my goal is to help people find their dream jobs and to get that next promotion, because I want people to be working less, making more money, and feeling happy and fulfilled doing work they love. But it tends to lean to more than just that. When we have a happy workforce, a well-vested workforce, a workforce that is healthy in terms of movement and their attitude and their mental health, we have a much more productive, therefore revenue generating workforce. And I feel like leaders tend to be ignoring the fact of just how valuable things are. And I think it's because the toolkit that they were given did not anticipate the challenges of the workforce that we see now and we will see in the future, like the future of work. They were given things that were handed down from an outdated patriarchal mindset that served them well for a time and even can serve well now to a point. But when we're looking at sustainable long-term growth and success, it needs more than that. It actually needs these 5 key skills that I love, and I want to develop as many leaders to have these skills as possible so that we can see organizations be much more successful and a workforce that is so much more happy and fulfilled and productive and performing. Okay, so here are my top 5 skills that I think every leader needs. Number 1, empathy. Oh, the future of work is evolving rapidly. And I'm not just talking technology, because obviously that is, but honestly, employees, workers, customers, clients, they're driving a change that has caught many organizations off guard. We're facing a mental health crisis in organizations today. Burnout is skyrocketing. Stress leave is skyrocketing. Productivity, collaboration, creativity, innovation is on the decline because we're seeing leadership teams push for more work and more hours and less help with less pay and in the office. Stress leave is on the rise, and it's going to continue to do so until we have leaders that are more empathetic to what is going on. We are also facing a growing workforce of Gen Z and millennials who will not put up with this. And what we're seeing them opting out. They're like, I'm just not going to be in the corporate world then if it's going to be like that. And what will happen is when the boomers and the Gen Xers who were like, I just need to get my head down and do my work because that's what I've been conditioned to do, as they retire out and age out, we're going to see massive gaps that technology will not be able to fill. So we need leaders who are more empathetic, who understand the issues, and who understand that just because other people have issues that they don't have, because the other people may have two working parents and they have a partner who can stay home and support their families, they need to understand that not having empathy is going to have short-term and long-term implications. And I think the organizations that really champion empathetic leadership is going to really create cultures that are supportive and inviting and safe, and who actually do this not just performatively like we've been seeing. So empathy is number one. Okay, number two is true leadership. So I'm talking about not micromanaging, not managing at all. It's like leadership. So, and it's not just leading a team of doers, it's also leading leaders. So how can we empower our workforce to figure things out on their own? And when we have a team of leaders, how can we empower them to empower their own team to figure things out? And I don't mean figure things out on their own where you just like kind of put them on an island. It's like, good luck. It's how can we create the supportive environment where we trust them to do the work, but we also are supportive enough to check in and to have our weekly one-on-ones and to chip in when we need to chip in, to problem solve alongside with them. So how can we inspire and motivate our teams in a way that, you know, really just allows them to shine? And we do this a little bit through some open-minded communication, where there is it's like that psychological safety where people feel safe enough to bring up their problems and to discuss solutions and not feel like they're going to have negative consequences just for stating something. It also requires a leader to truly understand who is reporting into them and customize and tweak and tailor their leadership style to the individuals on their team. We want to empower the team to optimal performance, like 100%, that's the job. But we also want to help the company realize their goals, and we want to do it with a highly dedicated and engaged workforce. And when we inspire and motivate and we are empathetic, it makes it easier to do so. Okay, tip number 3 is intuition. So I'm not talking about like letting our guts rule the roost and come up with all of the ideas, but I find the most successful leaders are ones that are finely attuned to their intuition. And like, I mean that they have this unique way of taking in information, and they are observant about what's going on around them. They are collecting information and data from people, systems, and the organization as a whole, and they then can combine that knowledge with all the learning that they have done and continue to do. So from education and their experience, and then from there, they can then also take a look at some of the patterns and the trends internally and externally that they're seeing, so that they can come up with intuitively informed, not just data informed. Everyone talks about data informed, and yes, data is important, but data is just data. There needs to be more to it, so we can make an intuitively informed decisions. And so what this means is a leader with a highly developed intuition, they're able to make decisions like that. They can create very strong business plans. They can solve problems at an accelerated rate that is also more highly effective than just using data or any other sort of ways to make a decision. But you notice my intuition is just not a gut check. It involves so much more than that. So skill number 4 is advocacy. And this, I guess, kind of expands a little bit on empathy, but it has a very specific goal in mind because we are a diverse population and we have an emerging workforce that rightfully so will not work for organizations that don't advocate. And I don't mean performative advocacy, which I see too much. It's true advocacy for BIPOC, LGBTQ plus women and other minorities in the workforce. The leaders of tomorrow are true advocates. They become allies. They empower the growth and development of the entire workforce without feeling like it is something against them. Like it's not a them or a situation. Okay, skill number 5. It's not like a skill title because I couldn't come up with a title. If you have a good title, comment below. But it's time traveling. So the ability to time travel will be the key for the leadership of tomorrow. How much in the tomorrow and the future am I talking about? Now, what I mean is it is like the ability to stay rooted in the present. So we're here. We're in the here and now. And then we're able to like climb into that metaphorical DeLorean and go back and ahead in time while we're still rooted here. So we want to take a trip to the past and we want to, in that history lesson, and we're not just doing like a year, we're talking about a true trip into the past so we can learn about what worked, those are like our strengths, and what didn't work, like our weaknesses. And then we take a trip to the future so that we can anticipate what's to come. So we can amplify our opportunities while protecting ourselves against threats and risks. Any good leader will notice I just described an essential SWOT analysis, but I'm not talking about like a basic SWOT analysis. I'm talking about a SWOT analysis in a much deeper level, because I'm talking about from a neutral standpoint, really, and this is where intuition comes to play, really start to like take apart things to really see what we've done and what we can learn from, and then what we can anticipate so we can amplify. Okay, so those are my top 5 skills of the leaders of today and tomorrow. To recap, that's empathy, that's true leadership, that's intuition, advocacy, and time traveling. So comment below, let me know which one you struggle with and that you would really like to develop, or which one surprised you the most, or which one you have and you can't wait to start using as a leader. Now, if you don't want to miss any of my videos that I come on here with, I drop one every week, then you want to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single one. I will see you next week with another training. Take care. Have a great day. Bye. If you liked this video, then I invite you to join me in the Find Your Dream Job program, where you work less, make more money, and finally feel fulfilled doing work that you love. Find out more at www.sarahcurto.ca/CYLA. See you there.